over-the-counter medications for pain, whether it's joint pain, low back pain, headaches, ibuprofen, Tylenol, Excedrin. All those medications are fine to use on a very limited basis. They come with risks, no doubt, like anything, but if you find yourself constantly turning multiple times per day, multiple times per week, then you could be suffering from a condition known as rebound headaches or medication overuse headaches. So what happens is the criteria to be considered a medication overuse headache is going to be you have more than 15 days with a headache. It could be just that low-level headache that never quite goes away. More than 15 days in a month, you check that criteria. Secondly is that you've abused those medications like I talked about earlier for more than 3 months. So generally what happens is that headache initially gets better. That is an effective solution in the short term. But over time, as you continue to abuse those medications, your headache can actually develop or it can worsen. So if you're taking it for a low back pain, maybe you start to get a headache. That's probably why, as you're abusing those medications. The good thing is that we have a solution. So the solution is, first and foremost, we need to kind of get rid of that medication. A lot of times it gets a little bit worse before it gets better, but in the long term, we're doing the right thing. Secondly, is we need to support those patients with pharmacological and non-pharmacological solutions. So you maybe talk to your doctor about an abortive medication if you're suffering from migraines. This is a little bit more evidence-based than constantly eating those over-the-counter meds. And then non-pharmacological, that's what chiropractic, that's the soft tissue, the joint manipulation, the stuff we talk about, the at-home exercise, the solutions in the office and at home. And then lastly, like, we need to be supportive. We need to understand that taking those medications isn't the long-term solution, so we need to support that patient, prevent relapse, understand like the Excedrin, the ibuprofen, that is not going to provide the solution. So if you have any questions about rebound headaches, medication overuse headaches, I am here to answer them. I'm here to support in a very non-pharmacological way, without drugs, without surgery, hands-on treatment, at-home exercise. Today is caffeine beneficial for headaches? Seems like a pretty straightforward question. Unfortunately, the answer is very, very messy. So the best available evidence kind of says that caffeine is okay and beneficial in the acute treatment of a headache. So if you take it sporadically, you get a headache every once in a while, you kind of take some over-the-counter medication, you have a little caffeine, whether in that pill with like an Excedrin, or you take kind of a cup of coffee, maybe a soda of some sort, increasing the caffeine with the over-the-counter medication actually has a relieving effect when used in the acute treatment short term. But over time, those medications that we kind of find, the caffeine we kind of find in Excedrin and other over-the-counter medications for headaches, it actually could potentially add to the withdrawal symptoms and will be a negative effect. So we talked about rebound headaches and medication overuse headaches in a previous video. The caffeine within those medications can kind of contribute to that. I think anybody that is a coffee drinker or a caffeine consumer religiously can tell you about the withdrawal symptoms of not getting that daily caffeine. You kind of just feel tired, irritable, headaches. So chronically using caffeine for headaches is probably not a good thing. It can contribute to the medication overuse, but in the short term, if you get a headache every once in a while, kind of using a little over-the-counter medication with a little caffeine is probably safe and effective. I would encourage you to seek out other healthcare solutions, non-pharmacological, chiropractic, self-treatment, myofascial release. All of those things could potentially help reduce your headaches in a little bit of a safer way rather than kind of consuming those medications. So let me know if you have any questions. Once again, science, it's messy, but our best answer is caffeine good for the short-term acute headache, not good for the long-term because it can kind of produce and lead to some of that medication overuse. Dr. Peter's here with OMNE Chiropractic, providing solutions to pain and performance, sports chiropractor here in Omaha, Nebraska. I wanted to talk about the association between water intake and migraine headaches. It seems crazy, but there's not really a great official recommendation on how much water you should drink. In the past, we've kind of used the 8x8 rule, 8 glasses of 8 ounces of water, so 64 fluid ounces in a day. But it's largely this media darling rather than founded in medical literature. But there is an interesting study that looked at migraine headache sufferers and increasing fluid intake. It was in the Journal of Clinical Neuroscience, a very respected journal. And what they found is that if they told female migraine sufferers to increase their fluid intake, regardless of what they were drinking before, 1.5 liters per day, these patients experience less frequent headaches, less severe headaches, shorter duration headaches. All of those super positive things. Anybody with a migraine would take that in a heartbeat for something as simple as just increasing fluid intake, water intake by 1.5 liters. So I would encourage you, there's no set number that you need to hit, but 64 fluid ounces a day is a good place to start. If you already drink plenty of water, you can try to increase it just a little bit and see if you experience the positive effects mentioned in this study. Otherwise, reach out to us. We have other non-pharmacological solutions, soft tissue release, joint manipulation, at-home stretching. We are here to help you.